Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong, owner of the Los Angeles Times, is going to join us. You've heard me make this point before, both here and on Next Up. The nation doesn't have very many news organizations with economy of scale, with reach, with history and tradition to do what news organizations need to do. Two main things: hold powerful interests accountable to the public interest and explain the world in a compelling way to its audience. And I've said before, I doubt anybody's going to start a new one that reaches that scale. You've heard me say this about CBS News and how pleased I am that Barry Weiss is going to try to restore CBS to those two great traditions: hold all powerful interests accountable to the public interest and tell the great stories of our time. And in the case of the Los Angeles Times, we have one of the maybe a dozen, if you wanted to be generous, organizations that historically and currently have the capacity to do those important things at scale. Smaller independent media can do those things in a small way, but to be global in the reach and distribution, to do the kind of things that big organizations can do to hold powerful interests accountable to public interests, we don't have very many. And one of the few that we have is Los Angeles Times. So joining us now to talk about the news of the day, but also about the important developments with the Los Angeles Times and its growth as a brand, is my co-host on Cancer Decoded and someone who hasn't been with us in a while, so couldn't be more excited to have Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong back. Doctor, welcome back.
Thank you for having me, Mark. What a wonderful and exciting day it is.
Yeah, you were in the Middle East not too long ago with President Trump. People may have seen you on his trip. So talk about the through line from that trip you were on with a number of American leaders in all sorts of realms to today. What did you see on that trip that, again, where you see the continuity to what's happened now?
Well, I was with him during the time when we went to Saudi Arabia, when it was with MBS, and then we had the state dinner, and then from there we went to Qatar, and I was with him when he was the emir. I got to tell you, in that audience during that time when he gave the address in Saudi Arabia, and he mentioned what he was going to do for Syria even, which was again non-conventional, there was such an amazing positive response. So what you said in your opening here is completely correct. Here is a president that is not only unconventional, but really acts like a person who understands the world and truly strategically, like a businessman who has actually made a payroll and runs a payroll and understands how the world really works, made this happen. I mean, for years and years, this conflict is happening in the Middle East. There's real opportunity now to really have peace. So what he did then was actually, when we were talking to His Royal Highness MBS, was sharing how both the interests of the US and the Middle East were aligned. And there was this big conversation, and it's on Fox. Somebody actually picked it up, and it's on our X. And the same thing when we did in Qatar. So he truly is a man of peace. It may be difficult for left or right to really come together to understand that. But what he's done today is good for the world, good for humanity, good for the country.
Cozy Earth, I went to the Packers game, first time to Lambeau Field this weekend, and my friend who came with me had bought his first pair of Cozy Earth pants based on the recommendations I've made here, and he wore them to the game. He hadn't worn them. He brought them with him to a Green Bay, and he took them out and he put them on for the game. And basically, it was a big mistake on my part because he didn't talk much about the game. He just talked about the pants. Cozy Earth pants. He said, "These, Mark, you undersold these. So comfortable." Same with the sheets. Now he's going to go buy the sheets because he said, if their pants are this good, I have to assume, Mark, you're right about the sheets. Comfortable stuff. It's comfortable. Keeps you cool when you want to be cool. Keeps you warm when it's cold. It wasn't cold at the game, by the way. It's warm. Also, the Bubble Cuddle Blanket, also available now. All of these things can be purchased on the Cozy Earth website, CozyEarth.com, for 20% off if you use the code TWOWAY. Go to CozyEarth.com. Buy the pants, the sheets, the blankets. It's all good stuff because home isn't just where you live, it's how you feel. Let's go home with Cozy Earth, all available now. They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two-Way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America. And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.